What's going on, y'all? Thank you for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. So, wow. What Kawhi just did was like the most unbelievable probably thing ever to do in NBA history. He just basically did the impossible. To go 15 for 19 in last night's game and go 9 for 10 in the first half. The buzzer beater he hit, the look in his eye just last night, the claw was just not losing. I mean, it didn't matter what the Nuggets did. I mean, they put every defender possible they had on them. Christian Brown, you put Jamal Murray on, which is an insult. Aaron Gordon is really their best defender, and he didn't even have an answer for Kawhi Leonard. I think Jokic may have, stepped out there once or twice on Kawhi, Jokic, that's barbecue chicken to me. If he's trying to guard Kawhi, he's just not fast enough. Kawhi can just put him on an island. But regardless, the point is what Kawhi did last night was just beyond special, because you got to look at it. Not many players in the league, if any, could be that efficient and still give you great minutes defensively. On the other end, Kawhi had some key steals in the fourth quarter. He made some great defensive plays. Even the last play where Jokic took that last shot, before the game ended, I actually thought that was a shot that was capable of going in. But Kawhi being there, disrupting it, basically just made it harder for Jokic to actually make that shot, because Jokic can probably make that shot in his sleep. He definitely would have made it probably if Zubac was guarding him, because he just feels more comfortable with Zubac guarding him, of course, than Kawhi Leonard, because we all know how great Kawhi is. But that game was just ultimately crazy. I mean, what a great series so far. Honestly, this is the best series in the first round. I wouldn't put any other series over this one. No other series has a dramaticness and the ebbs and flows of the game. I mean, it was like 10 to 20 lead changes in last night's game easily. And, the crazy thing is the turnovers. Jokic had 7 turnovers like Kawhi had in the first game. And both teams lost when they had the most turnovers, of course. And when both teams' superstar players had the most turnovers. I mean, the series to me definitely is going, it definitely can go 7 games. I think the Clippers could end it in 6. Matter of fact, I think they could end it in 5, really, but the Clippers just need more off their bench, though. Bogey right now, he hasn't made a shot in the playoffs yet. I mean, that's definitely not something that you want to see. I mean, they might have to switch him out of the rotation or something like that. I don't really like that, like what I'm seeing from him so far. But the good thing is they're going back home to L.A. So, role players play good at home. So, I mean, with that being said, hopefully you can get more production out of him, because I don't see his aggressive meter going up. I don't know if he's injured or something like that, but they got to get more production out of the bench. They got to get more out of Bogdanovich. They got to, if they plan on winning this series. And, James Harden got to be more, he's got to get going quicker. The first game, he played, pretty well, but I mean, this is one of those tricky games to me with James Harden, because this is one of those games where we've known him to actually choke, in a game like this, a game 3, game 4, like they did last year when him and Paul George, choked last year in that game 3, I believe, in Dallas, where, people thought the Clippers were going to go out and, go out with a bang and, play pretty good. And this is one of them games where he would actually come up short. So the Clippers don't need that either. I think Kawhi is going to continue to be the Kawhi that he showed, which was magnificent last night. I mean, that was an all-time performance, Jordan-esque type performance. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if Michael Jordan would have been that efficient, 15 for 19 from the field. I don't know. I haven't seen a player ever do that, especially in a playoff game of that high magnitude, playing against another Hall of Famer, great player, so-called best player in the league in Jokic. Well, last night, Kawhi looked like the best player in the league, and he reminded everybody you could like a lot of other players, you can believe in them, you can say they're great, but don't forget to mention me, because I belong in that conversation as well. And all these guys that you look at, they're my sons, really. I just ain't been healthy enough to actually show you that I'm their father when it comes to me being on the court. And I feel like Kawhi Leonard actually is literally playing with that mentality. And when he's right, I just don't see a player in the league that's better than him. Not that can give you what he can give you on both ends. He's definitely the best two-way player when healthy, but to me, he's the best player because that drive that he has, that killer instinct, is second to none in the NBA. I mean, it really is. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy watching Kawhi. I mean, the mid-range is definitely not dead when Kawhi is out there because, I mean, he definitely brings the mid-range back to the game, especially in the playoffs. Everybody shoots threes. Kawhi's a mid-range killer, plus he can shoot threes. I mean, it's like looking at Michael Jordan out there. I mean, damn, if Michael Jordan and Kobe had a baby, it would be Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's really what it looks like. I mean, honestly, like, that's like, it's crazy to say something like that, but I mean, the way Kawhi looked, it looked like wasn't nobody stopping him last night. There was no way the Denver Nuggets could have won that game because he just put a team on his back and just took it home. And that was a game that Denver actually could have won, really, which is crazy if they didn't turn the ball over as much because it was a close game. And I feel like all these games are going to be close. So that's why I said the Clippers need more from their bench. They need a little bit more aggressive Ben Simmons. Well, I can't say that too much, I guess, because he needs more minutes. I think he played like 8 minutes last night. You got to at least give him 12 to 15 minutes so he can kind of, put his imprint on the game. I think he's definitely a good defensive, he's another good defensive guy that they have, long wingspan, can defend very well, move his feet pretty good, and look for him to score a little bit, get into the to the gaps and the penetration, and use his penetration to get into the paint, maybe score a little bit more, find shooters on the outside. So the Clippers got a lot of good pieces. They just got to put them together, and Norman Powell has to play good these next 2 games at home. Really does. Yeah, I'm gonna need Norman Powell to probably. He's going to need to average, these next few games, he needs to average him somewhere around 16 to 18 points per game going through the rest of the series. Because if they get that third scorer in him going, I think the series is pretty much over. Because, even though Harden might struggle, I still think Harden can give you around 20 points per game, consistently with about 8 assists. Hopefully just don't give 8 turnovers with it or something like that, and then it'll bounce out fair. And then if you have Norman Powell giving you about 18 points within that flow, and then Kawhi giving you maybe not 39 points every game, but at least giving you, 26 to 30 points per game, that'll balance their offense out and just get a little bit more scoring off the bench. Hopefully Bogey will wake up, and keep that defense, on, intact the way it has been throughout the season for them, and even in, these games. I think they can win the rest of the series out. I think they can do a gentleman's sweep almost if they keep it within that space right there. So it's going to be tough because Denver, Jamal Murray and Jokic is a problem when they're right. And I love what Chris Dunn has done, on Jamal Murray as well defensively. I think that's, huge for the series. But like I said, if Kawhi Leonard's going to keep playing like this or anything close, Denver's going to have a problem. And it's definitely, if Denver's going to bring everything they got, it definitely can go 7 games, or it might not go 7 games if Kawhi keeps playing to this magnitude. Because if he plays like this, where he's this unstoppable, if the Clippers go up 3-1, I don't see them blowing a 3-1 lead this time. Not with this team, not as good defensively as this team is, and the players that they have, the personnel, as James Harden say. The personnel is different on this team. The atmosphere is different with this team. And a game like that last night, even though Kawhi had games like that years prior, the Clippers would have lost a game like that last night a few years ago with the team they had. This team is very resilient, and they give a different type of energy. And that Kawhi last night looked determined, and he looked just unstoppable from the start. And the Denver Nuggets look like deer in the headlights trying to figure out how to stop Kawhi Leonard. If he can do that on the road, hopefully, of course, we know what Kawhi can definitely do at home. As long as he got his troops, riding with him, this might be a quicker series than what people think. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if it goes 5 either.